Joe Rogan compares Dorian Yates and Arnold Schwarzenegger, reflects on Ronnie Coleman's health. Joe Rogan and Derek of More Plates More Dates compared Dorian Yates' physique with Arnold Schwarzenegger's. In addition, they discussed Ronnie Coleman's health. Joe Rogan and Derek of More Plates More Dales look a closer look at some of the most iconic bodybuilders of this generation. In a recent video shared on December 5, 2024, Rogan explained why he prefers Arnold Schwarzenegger's physique over Dorian Yates. In addition, they discussed the health challenges of Ronnie Coleman. Dorian Yates revolutionized bodybuilding with his high-intensity workout approach, inspired by the training principles of the late Mike Mentzer and Arthur Jones. Yates focused on heavy, low-volume sets and pushed to failure to maximize muscle growth. This intense approach set him apart from the competition and contributed to his success in the sport. Arnold Schwarzenegger, meanwhile, primarily competed in the 1970s and 80s, where he displayed the perfect combination of muscle shape, aesthetics, and conditioning to win so Mr. Olympius. To this day, he remains the most famous athlete to emerge from the sport. Another bodybuilder known for his championship physique was the King, Ronnie Coleman, who dominated the Olympia stage from 1986 to 2005 until finally being dethroned by his longtime rival Jay Cutler in 2008. However, his reign came at a high price, ultimately leading to Coleman undergoing multiple surgeries and long-term mobility issues, including his struggle to walk unassisted. Joe Rogan prefers Arnold Schwarzenegger's physique over Dorian Yates, talks Ronnie Coleman's health. Joe Rogan and Derek of MPMD discussed how despite Dorian Yates being one of the first mass monsters, he now has a physique that is seemingly healthy. Dorian Yates, that guy, he's a unique cat, he lost all the weight, he looks like a normal athlete now. He's healthy, says Rogan. He had me on his podcast this year and he said any time he's done seminars and people ask if he misses being a mass monster, he says you're more upset about it than I am, shares Derek. Rogan emphasizes that during the years that Dorian Yates competed, his muscle mass and sheer freak factor contributed to setting a new size standard in the sport. He's very intelligent, very calm, just the way he approaches things, but goddamn dude, when that guy was getting after it, he was one of the original treaks. One of the first guys where you are just, that's what they are pushing it to now. He was so big, dude, he was so big. He was ridiculous. If you think about what he looked like versus what a mold looked like just a couple decades earlier, it's night and day, says Rogan. Joe Rogan points out that Yates was so massive he blew out his bicep, competed, and won, all Willick having a hole in his arm. I mean he was so big he blew his bicep out and competed and won with a torn bicep. With like a hole in his arm. Rogan revealed that he prefers Schwarzenegger's physique over Yates. Here's the difference between the two of them. A mold on the left and Dorian on right. Dorian's twice the size. His fucking back, dude, that's crazy. That back is, not that a mold isn't insane, he was fucking pretty insane. I actually think a mold looks better. Joe Rogan points out the cost of being a mass monster like Ronnie Coleman, another bodybuilding legend known for his freakish size. Well, Ronnie Coleman is a crazy example of the price you pay for that. That guy's all fucked up now, said Rogan. Yeah, it makes you wonder if he would have been the bodybuilder he was if he just trained higher volume and used higher reps and less weight. Literature now suggests that you don't need to necessarily to train like that, shared Derek. He also compared the sheer size of Coleman's and Yates' backs. Look at Dorian Yates' back and Ronnie Coleman's back. Jesus, these guys are huge. Ronnie Coleman was crazy, but Dorian was like weirdly thick, like look how thick his fucking muscle are. Man, he continues. Judena Avathat are that big, good luck. I don't get it. They all look awesome. They all look crazy. Unfortunately, bodybuilding takes a toll on the athletes, whether it be due to the stress on the body caused by the intense physical activity or the use of performance-enhancing drugs. As of late, the sport has seen an influx in deaths of young bodybuilders. These unexpected and untimely passings are often attributed to heart attacks, with steroids being the prime suspect. Many bodybuilding veterans have come out and warned about the dangers of using PEDs, including Lee Haney, who called out the current state of bodybuilding and warned young people about heart attacks. Arnold Schwarzenegger has also broached the topic, emphasizing that the sport kills people. While Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman pushed the limits of size in bodybuilding, Joe Rogan and Derek of MPMD argued that Arnold Schwarzenegger's more balanced, aesthetic physique remains the gold standard.